say.
The question you just asked. You asked if China attacks Taiwan,
right?
Will America step in? What I think was your question, right?
Right. Well, not just America, but Australia's tied in as well.
Well, and
Japan.
Australia, Japan, everybody in the region's tied in. Australia is a big trading partner with China.
Was. Because now they're at it.
No, well, yeah, like Australia does not trust China.
Didn't Australia just sign a contract with the United States with nuclear submarines?
Yeah, they're going to buy them
nuclear powered
France,
submarines.
Nuclear powered.
France doesn't have nuclear power. That was the thing.
Yeah.
They were going to buy different subs from France.
Yeah.
Coal power.
But yeah, they definitely want to.
Diesel.
They want to be a player in that region because they see what China, how aggressive they are in the South China Sea.
I mean, aggressive as in
they claim a lot of it as theirs.
But yeah, but have they actually fought in anything recently in the past 20 years?
No, but I mean that's the thing.
Military
When you talk about these
flown into water, flown over
world wars.
I know, but they're not dropping bombs, are they?
No, well, that's the thing. Like, it goes from 0 to 100, like that. Like, because the first bomb, the first, American ship that gets hit by a Chinese missile, like, then it's not like, all right, well, we're going to shoot one missile back at you. Like, it goes from 0 to 100, and that's the problem is when you have a high-risk thing like that, that was like the Cuban Missile Crisis, it's a boiler, and it's just getting hotter and hotter, and eventually it can explode if you don't turn the heat down. You know what I mean? It just keeps getting hotter and hotter until there's a world war,
and
which nobody wants.
Well, you don't say nobody wants, because there's at least.
Well, the thing is, if China could, without starting a war, could take Taiwan and dominate the South China Sea.
How would they take Taiwan by an invasion?
Yeah, no, not war with us. Is what
No.
Yeah, they would still go to war with Taiwan.
Right.
I mean, they calculate that the United States, kind of like Saddam Hussein, before, like in the Gulf War. Yeah, like he thought that America and the world would not come to Kuwait's rescue. He calculated that the United States would be like, well, we'll sanction you, we'll do this, but we won't actually go to war. And
no, I mean.
But he didn't. If he really believed that we were going to go to war,
that's not why they attacked him. Saddam Hussein.
No, I'm saying the first Gulf War.
Regardless, they were going to take him out. One excuse or another, he was going to convert.
But I'm
selling
saying
his petrol from the U.S. dollar to the euro.
Well,
and that was going to affect our dollar. That's why they took him out.
Invaded Kuwait without. If he
that would be like
that's just like one more reason that we're saying that we took him out. But the main reason with Saddam Hussein was that he was changing the oil cell.
I know what you're talking about.
To the euro, and that's what happened to Gaddafi. He was going to change it from oil to the gold standard.
Well, let's not go down this rabbit hole because.
And that's what happened to Venezuela with Hugo Chavez. He went and he announced it at the. I think it was the UN where he was going to sell his petrol from the dollar to the euro. In all three countries, you mess with the U.S. dollar, the value of it,
World police.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, going back to China.
Yeah, China and Taiwan.
Because that's been going up. It's been the news I just read was from a day ago.
Hundreds of fighter jets they've been flying over Taiwan.
Right, and Taiwan is prepping its citizens for an invasion from China, is what it said.
Well, China, while they might not have a large force, army compared to ours, they got a lot of people compared to Taiwan.
Their army is bigger than ours, but it's not as sophisticated as ours.
Well, then plus they don't have the Navy means to
transport their army.
Right, their massive
army.
Well,
this was interesting. I watched a video because in that strait between Taiwan and China, there's only 2 months out of the year that they can actually use to invade Taiwan because the weather through that channel is so bad the rest of the year that ships just get capsized. Which I didn't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. But that period is coming up. I think it's like October through December.
Is this the October surprise?
The holiday season?
No, so, have you heard that, right, with presidents? The October surprise.
Yeah. But I don't think they'll invade this year. I think they're just going to, saber rattle.
They should send all their elderly.
Yeah. But the only reason they would ever
You know,
attack
'cause-
Taiwan,
Yeah, well, I mean, that solves
Yeah.
two problems.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, they
send their elderly with COVID.
one round.
But the reason they would is straight for control of the pass. You know, that's what
well,
China needs access to that. See what that part of the world.
yeah. Well, I mean, Taiwan is one of the biggest manufacturing centers in the world,
I
and it's
know.
where all the
You see, made in
sophisticated
Taiwan.
technology comes from. In China, 'cause technically Taiwan is part of China, but not.
Well,
No.
China might think that.
But yeah,
Taiwan
it's
sure
not.
doesn't feel that
That's
way.
what I mean. But like, so
Taiwan.
China has some sophisticated factories, but like Taiwan is all sophisticated manufacturing,
Mm-hmm.
and so China, like they want.
That's
So
what
instead
does.
of
Like-
developing their own sophisticated technology,
Yeah.
just want to conquer that land.
Well,
It's
and
like rather
access to
than-
the sea, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, then controlling that would give them better control over the South China Sea for sure. So, but like the only reason they would do that is if they believed the United States would not go to war over it. Like if China believes the United States will go to war over Taiwan, then they're not going to do it.
Well, and here's
Because they don't want a war.
this kind of touches on
Yes.
something you were talking about earlier. Is nobody wants war with China. Well, that's not necessarily true. There's people out there, there's companies out there that just want another war, and they don't care with what. And China's going to be the new red menace.
Well, I'm
You're already
saying-
hearing them say the new Cold War with China.
Well, I'm saying from the
They're
perspective
labeling
of.
it between China and Australia as the World War III. It was on here.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
News.
Well, the thing is, like, if Australia goes to war with.
If Australia goes to war, 30 million
So do
people
we.
fucking Australia, yeah, well, of course we're going to go to war with them. Because Australia is very strategically located.
Yeah.
And you're not going to want China to have control of the Arctic seas or whatever, that whole area. You
Yeah.
want an
Well,
ally.
I'm pretty sure Australia is a NATO country.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, it's definitely CETO. I don't think CETO is still exists. I think it's just NATO now. But like the thing with NATO, if one of the other sister countries is attacked, it's as if.
Well, that's,
all
I
of
mean,
it-
that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well, I mean,
The
we would
United
either have
Nations,
to,
so to speak.
but like Taiwan is not a NATO country, so you know the United States could be like, well, now if Japan is attacked, we automatically go to war.
In Japan, I mean, what's Japan going to do? Well, Japan's been trying to get a piece of China for years.
Yeah,
but
well,
realistically,
and
Japan
China
doesn't have
wants
the army.
revenge on Japan, and I mean, I don't really blame them for that necessarily, but you know,
Japan's a pretty
Japan
sweet
now-
piece of real estate in that
Yeah.
area too.
But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bad blood between.
Oh yeah,
China
thousands
and
of years, I'm sure.
You know, well, just recent. I mean, people forget how brutal the Japanese were in China. They were more brutal than the Nazis were by far in Europe.
Yeah, but again, you're getting way off subject because we could be talking about school education in America.
Well, I'm just saying that China wants, you know, revenge on Japan.
oh yeah,
as well.
I agree with that one.
But they also know that we are, you know, treaty obligated to defend Japan if they're attacked.
What? Japan's like the third biggest world economy or something like that.
Well, we still are technically, you know, responsible for their protection.
they're not allowed to have an army yet.
Well,
Yeah.
we've allowed them to build somewhat of an army, but yeah,
to
that
protect
was
themselves from China.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have an army for a long, long time.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big part of it. Anytime we conquer, you know,
Yeah.
you don't get an army. We'll take care of you. Don't worry.
Well, sometimes, kind of.
Well, I mean, it depends. If you're white, yeah, then that's fine. We'll help out.
Yeah.
We'll rebuild.
But yeah, I mean that.
If you're
if
not,
China
well, we
did
already
attack
spent
Japan, it would.
trillions of dollars there. Let's just leave.
I mean,
Let's
we
leave a bunch of garbage.
have to like break our own treaties in order not to go to war with that.
Yeah, and again, some people want war with China. They want, if not a war with China, a Cold War, because they can use that as subtext to sell their guns, have a huge military. You know, all those same
Well,
problems.
the biggest moneymaker for these companies is building the latest
Yeah,
technology
the newest stuff. You always look at
to
your medicine's trying
combat
to get you.
the potential threat.
We
and-
sold
and
them
because
even
of
better
that-
stuff.
Well, but we've done. That's how America has worked, especially the military-industrial complexes. They always say if they're capable of doing this, then we have to create what can, be effective against that, even though they have no proof that they
You ever
have the
seen the
technologies.
scared goats?
But you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, well, there's
Well,
a funny
that's-
part in the minutes
that's
where
why
they-
we
Killer
have-
robots.
where they talk about we got reports that the Soviets have been using psychics,
Mhm.
or that the Soviets
Because
think
we
they're
had a
using
program like that
psychics
before.
to find
MK
nuclear
Ultra.
submarines.
That was
Well, this
something
was
different, but
slightly different, but
Yeah.
the
The
joke
CIA
was like,
got into.
do we have that project?
No, no.
Like, no, but
This
they
is
think
something
we do,
different.
So now
Yeah.
we have to start one.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie with George Clooney.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why we have the military technology that we have now, is because we've been pushing that bar to
Yeah, you
combat
always
the.
want to be. Well, it's the peace through strength, that your military is so much better that they
Well, and
will
it
never
is,
go to war.
especially what's
Especially
the
our
US,
military.
Well, the newest aircraft, the F-35 Raptor. Is that the latest
I think
one?
the F-30. Which one is the one that's terrible though? One of them.
Is it
that
is
the
it a manned aircraft?
F-32?
It is. They
Because
all still are.
They have
There's
drones that are more maneuverable and
Not
faster.
yet. Well, because you have to have that. Because you have to either radio control it or Wi-Fi or.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's some sort of
So it's not as maneuverable as you think. Yeah, I mean it takes away the human body from all the G's, so that
Yeah,
it goes
so
through.
they
But
can-
then the connection to it to tell it how
Yes.
to maneuver is where it goes on. I mean,
you sure about that?
sensors they can only because you're going so quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
I don't
pulling
know
this
what
out
the
of my
limitation.
ass.
I'm thinking more like like video games.
I'm just saying that plane is so sophisticated that I think they were saying the next country that could compete against it would take them like 20 years before they can even
Well,
do
Did
that.
they have to
Joe's
create
got
the technology?
this on the Air Force. That's why they've been dumping tons of money into the.
Maybe.
No, not Navy, but it's a term for it. It's not psychological warfare, but
Cyber warfare?
Cyber warfare. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
they've
a lot
been dumping
cheaper.
a ton of money into that.
You don't
like,
have to do anything.
So that they
We're
can
not
disrupt
here.
our drones, they can disrupt our ships, they can disrupt our without us, and we are woefully behind in cyber technology. We need to catch up. But that's
That
because
I
we're
don't know.
making planes.
I think if China invaded Taiwan, depending on who's president, especially, we would go to war like that.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You think like
We're
troops on the or
No, troops
aiding?
on the ground. We're
Really?
tailor-made for war against a country like China. Because China doesn't have, it'd be like fighting Iraq,
Well, it'd be a
except
naval
with
battle
10 times
with
more people.
Air superiority.
Because we're going to have everything superior to them. Everything except for manpower. So their thing is just going to be waves of people. That's all they have.
Well,
That-
just like 300, if you don't have means to move that army, it's
well, yeah,
useless.
exactly.
And that's
They are
the what was
good-
interesting about that.
Their
that
spheres of
strait
influence like
between
this.
China.
Well, that's why they're going
Taiwan,
after
'cause we can
Taiwan.
protect that strait easily.
Right.
They share a border.
You know, our
So,
navy is far superior.
You look at who shares a border with China.
India.
And then, India, that's what I'm waiting for. A war between China and India.
Yeah.
Well,
Those two need
yeah.
to just tear at each other. We would back whoever wins until they...
That would already be a bigger problem if, like,
well,
a lot of
that side of the world.
because a lot of the major cities in China are on that coast. They're not like down by where India is.
Right.
Isn't there like a mountain range or something?
There is,
Right
yeah,
there?
there's a lot
The
of
Andes or something?
Mhm.
yeah. There's a lot of
Like a big
geographical-
mountain. Like a pretty substantial mountain right there. if I remember.
Otherwise, they probably already would be having a lot more attention than they do.
I think we
They do
would
have
for
some.
sure go to war. If Trump was in office, I campaigned on this. And then he'd have a general right there
Well,
saying, fucking
should we
drop
go
the
to war
nukes.
with China?
Should we go to war with
over
China?
time?
No.
No.
See,
I don't know
I
if we should
disagree.
go to war at all.
I disagree.
I think we should
Really?
kill other leaders. So, like, let's say, okay, China wants to go to war with Taiwan. Okay, bomb the president.
I think at this point in the
Why?
world,
Well, what does it matter?
the
You're
policy-
going to
That
send a
would make
million
it so
soldiers
much
to die,
worse.
or are you going to take out their leader?
No.
If we would have dropped bombs on Saddam right at the beginning, would you say that whole war would have gone differently?
But Iraq and China are completely apples and oranges.
Exactly.
So
There's
you
an
can't-
actual head to it. Iraq is a nomadic society with hundreds, if not thousands, of individual leaders in small bands. China is one giant dragon. If you cut the head off of China, that body is going to
No, just
die.
another commie will take his place.
Well, you do some serious damage to the leadership of the party, it's done. There's the people.
Well,
there's a huge. It's kind of like here. You know how there's all these like high tech jobs, and there's this big gap between like skilled labor and then the jobs that need to be filled. Like there's all these skilled labor jobs in the construction field. Let's say.
But okay, keep going.
Well, so I'm just saying, China's a lot like that. They have like a very well educated like ruling class that is in charge of their communist party. Once you get past that, though, these are like dirt farmers. Like a majority of Chinese people were
that's
a generation
how they were,
ago agricultural.
But that's why they're all sending their kids over here to be educated.
Well, not all.
Well, not all,
only rich
but,
people.
rich
people, yeah.
But there's a
Well,
lot
that's
of
what I'm saying,
Chinese.
like-
But
But their middle class is growing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
upper middle
Oh, yeah.
class is growing.
I mean,
it's true.
There's tons of millionaires, tons of
But
billionaires.
it's also sliding scale. What's middle class in China? Is that send your kids to America to get educated middle class?
No, it would be upper middle class.
Yeah.
I mean, even upper middle class. How many upper middle class people send their kids to Europe to get trained?
Did they have the foreign exchange students program? Don't we do
Yeah,
that
a
a lot?
semester abroad or something like that?
Yeah, what's the policy in California? Every politician gets a Chinese spy, foreign student. I think that's their policy.
China's got
One
people.
guy does it.
Yeah, one guy did. Well, that's the thing. How many others? Like, we don't know. I mean, for that forethought, and I'm not even bashing on him. I mean, I could, but I
On
won't.
The guy who had
Stalwell, I think his name was, who was banging the Chinese spy. But the
He was
impressive
working
thing
for
is, like, when
information.
he started banging her,
Yeah.
he was a low level, like, just government, like state level position. He wasn't a congressman yet. He wasn't a senator. So they had her infiltrate him because he was known as like to be rising in those circles. So, like, just the forethinking of like, oh, we're gonna, subvert this guy now because he could become a congressman later.
I can see you agreeing with that kind of invasion from China.
Where's my Chinese spy?
Yeah.
Well, again, I think we would go to war
Yeah.
with China, and I think that, like I said, we're tailor made for a war with China.
Yeah.
They can't send troops over here. All the war would be fought over
They
there
have
somewhere.
been beefing up their navy.
Well, yeah, but what good is that going to do?
The
Against
war will
Army,
just be
against
each
our Air
country
Force?
Well, it's
destroying the
funny,
shit
though.
of the other countries that's in their country. China will be like, if you bomb us, we'll fucking bomb this fucking Apple factory. Like, oh, you bomb our
Okay,
Apple
okay,
factory,
okay,
we're
wait a
gonna
minute.
bomb your lithium mine.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
all right.
I didn't think about this. Let's
Yeah.
calm down. Let's get some ground rules. No lithium mines. No smartphones.
Yeah.
These things. This is like the new Geneva Convention. No smart cars.
Like, all right, you can't attack the Apple factories. We won't attack your fucking.
You can keep
All
your
right.
students here.
Yeah.
Apparently, our politicians really like them.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to see.
I don't want to see a war.
No.
I don't like
Nobody
war.
wants to see.
Yeah, I'm not one of those prepare for the worst or whatever. But I don't want.
That's
I don't want
not how
war
the saying
with China.
goes. It's if you want peace, prepare for war. That's how the saying goes.
I thought it was prepare for the worst, expect the best, or whatever.
No, that's
That's when you're going to your
No, it's-
gynecologist.
Sickness
No,
passes
your,
me
what's it called?
yeah.
My proctologist.
There you go.
Jake, why do you have 6 proctology appointments?
I like the variety. Depends on how I'm feeling.
I really got to make sure there's no cancer.
I like a 4th or 5th opinion sometimes.
Yeah.
Every year for my physical.
Yeah.
Am I still healthy? Yeah, maybe go a little deep.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
See how healthy I really am.
Oh, but yeah, a war with China would be great. China would be the kind of country that would have like inflatable tanks and stuff. So from drone pictures, oh look at they have this huge force, and then it's really just like paper mache. You got people like
that's the
carrying
thing.
them.
What
Because
is
they're
it
like
called?
that now. and we
Well,
need to
that's what
keep
I'm
them
saying.
like that.
Yeah.
They take Taiwan, and that's a huge jump up in their
Territorial army.
technological.
Yeah, basically, there you go.
Mhm.
You see the guys
Bunch
on the
of clay.
ramparts with a fucking spear, bow, and arrow,
Yeah.
and you get close, it's just a statue. It's like there ain't no real guy there. Except China's the exact opposite. They'll have a fake gun. You know, they'll have fake helmets. It'll look like a soldier, but it'll just be people with movie props.
Yeah, if I knew we were going to be talking about this, because I vaguely remember a article about China building their submarines and aircraft carriers, and they put them into the ocean, and they started getting major leaks and falling apart.
Yeah, on time and under budget.
Yeah, like a lot of them too. Like major problems. They couldn't send them out to sea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to hear, oh, here comes the Chinese fleet.
Yeah.
And then this over-the-horizon war that America loves so much.
Yeah,
they're going to be
the,
bombing shit even there in the middle of the ocean.
Paper tiger.
Then we're going to send our ships to go pick up the soldiers.
But that's why you call their bluff. If you don't call their bluff, then they're not.
A recent country called their bluff. Was it the Philippines? Yeah, I think it was the Philippines. They sent out, it wasn't actually, no, it was a massive amount of fishing ships, and I think they were being escorted by the Chinese military.
No, I vaguely.
And the Philippines sent out a couple of just like warships,
Yeah.
and then they just
Old
scattered all the way
American
back.
warships, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they probably got 50-year-old battleships and shit
Yeah.
from the Vietnam
And then
War.
there was a statement from, is it Xi Jinping? Is that
Xi Jinping.
the president of, or
I'm not
emperor
sure.
of China?
Pooh Bear.
Yeah, he was. There's a statement of him praising the this country's leader for sending out.
You called our bluff. Good to you.
That was
buddy.
a test, and you passed.
Yeah, it was just like that.
Oh, I'm sure, because they got a safe face in front of the party, and it's all about that. I mean, you heard kids can't play video games now. 2 hours a week,
Yeah,
9 p.m. on Fridays
Oh, yeah.
is when they can start.
Are you gonna tell me that population growing up is gonna
That's the
produce
problem.
a solid soldier?
Well, that's the problem, because you have this,
Well,
all
we
these
just need to,
old...
like when KFC got put over there, like they started having a huge child obesity problem. Not just KFC, but American. Like,
No,
fast
KFC
food.
will do that.
Oh yeah,
It's
it
that
will.
bucket.
Well, they're like because they.
Only Americans get
The
that.
chicken
It's the
strip.
same problem with like a lot of Native Americans. Their bodies don't process those saturated fats well. And so like like they
Yeah.
starting to have a huge child obesity problem over in China because all the fast food.
Yeah, quick, huh?
Exporting.
They call it
That's all- I
meatballs.
mean, because when you're not used to eating that kind of food.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Instead of sending
Yeah.
an army, we send all of our
That's
We're already doing that.
yeah.
McDonald's, KFC.
Well, I mean,
Taco
those
Bell.
companies are probably all owned by Chinese companies by now anyway. So what does it matter? Those are just we buy McDonald's from China to
Yeah.
it's like okay, sell it here in America.
Well, that like a lot of their stuff is knockoff over there. Somebody's showing a video and it's like KFC, but it's not.
You go inside and it's just
It's like
It's
you
like a
see how many
sushi
like fake Apple stores are in Wuhan. It's
But
like 40
there's-
fake Apple stores.
Yeah, but it is so hard to distinguish the
Yeah.
real Apple store from the fake Apple
That's
store.
what I mean. Yeah.
They're probably more helpful because they don't work for Apple,
Mhm.
so they know all the tricks and tips and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you here do this to get around your stupid Apple security.
Uh-huh.